For over 20 years, I believed I was destined for a life of anxiety and addiction. I thought that's just who I was. The anxious kid who grew up into the anxious adult. The guy who needed a drink every night just to take the edge off. I tried everything: willpower, positive thinking, pushing through. Maybe in another episode, I can tell you about all the different churches I was baptized in. Searching, searching, searching. None of it worked. Because I wasn't addressing the real problem: a dysregulated nervous system. Everything changed when I stopped trying to escape my nervous system and started learning how to regulate it. Not through meditation apps or therapy jargon, through something simple: breathwork and guitar. In this episode, I'm going to break down why everything I teach, every technique, every video, every piece of coaching stems from one foundational truth. When your nervous system is calm, there's no need to escape. Being present is the drug. I'm Jake Paul, and this is Rewrite the Song. Let me start with something that sounds too simple to work: breathing. Everyone breathes, right? It's automatic. You don't think about it. But here's what I learned the hard way: if you have anxiety, you're not breathing correctly. I was taking short, shallow breaths, breathing into my chest instead of my diaphragm, holding my breath without even realizing it, tightening my shoulders every time I felt stressed. And every time I did that, I was signaling to my nervous system, we're in danger. Stay alert. Don't let your guard down. Your nervous system has two modes: sympathetic, fight, flight, freeze, survival mode, always scanning for danger. Parasympathetic, rest, digest, regulate, calm mode. Your body knows it's safe. That was 1, sympathetic, 2, parasympathetic. Most people living with anxiety are stuck in sympathetic mode. Their nervous system is running the show, deciding how they react before their brain even catches up. You snap at your kids, you reach for a drink, you shut down, you lie awake spiraling. That's not a character flaw. That's a dysregulated nervous system. And here's the thing: you can't think your way out of it. You can't just relax. You can't willpower your way to calm. You have to teach your body it's safe again. And that starts with your breath. The technique that changed everything. When I discovered box breathing, everything shifted. It's simple. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Repeat. That's it. But here's why it works. Slow, controlled breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It's like hitting the brake pedal on your stress response. Your body gets the message: we're safe. We can regulate. I started doing this every morning, just 2 to 3 minutes, and I noticed something. My thoughts slowed down. My body relaxed. And for the first time in my life, calm didn't feel like weakness. It felt like strength. Here's why most people get this wrong. People think breathing exercises are about relaxation. They think it's just another wellness trend. This is nervous system training. You're not trying to empty your mind. You're teaching your body how to regulate so that when stress hits, you don't automatically go into survival mode. You respond instead of react. And that's the difference between being controlled by your nervous system and having influence over it. I need to tell you something I believed for most of my life. I thought I was destined for addiction. Childhood trauma. I lost a parent and the guy responsible for it got away with it. I had anxiety since I was a kid, PTSD from teen into adulthood. Alcohol was the only thing that worked. It quieted the noise, it numbed the fear, it made me feel normal, at least for a few hours. I knew it was destroying me, but I couldn't stop because every time I tried to quit, the anxiety came roaring back, and that was unbearable. I remember lying in bed in high school, feeling sheer terror the moment I opened my eyes. The thoughts would start spinning, the memories, the dread. Getting out of bed felt impossible. That pattern followed me into my 20s, my 30s. I was convinced this was just who I was. The anxious guy, the guy who needed a drink to function, the guy who would never escape his past, the guy who was defined by his past. And then something happened that I can't explain away as coincidences. Here are the synchronicities that changed my trajectory. When I finally made the decision to try a different lifestyle, to stop drinking, to stop running, to slow down and face my nervous system, the universe started meeting me. I'm talking about synchronicities that were too precise to ignore. A Bible opening up to exactly the passage I needed to read at exactly the moment I needed to read it. I'm not talking a general Bible passage here. I'm talking about a boy who thought he was destined to be just like his father, specific to drinking alcohol. It's in the passage about Ezekiel where it says, "Turn and live." I started waking up at 4:44 a.m. over and over again. Why not 4:43? Why not 4:45? Why did it keep happening? Receipts, clocks, license plates, numbers and moments landing with too much precision to dismiss. Really? My receipt was number 444. Really? The total was 444. I'm not saying this is magic. I'm not claiming some mystical intervention. What I'm saying is this: when I slowed down enough to notice, life started showing up differently. And those synchronicities weren't just random, they were breadcrumbs. They were proof that I wasn't destined for addiction after all, that there was another path, another reality, that if I kept choosing regulation over escape, something would shift. And it did. Here's the shift from escape to regulation. And here's what I learned: everything I used to escape my nervous system made my life smaller. Let me say that again. Everything I used to escape my nervous system made my life smaller. Everything that helped me regulate made my life bigger. Alcohol made my world smaller, tunnel vision. It gave me temporary relief, but it kept me stuck. Breathwork made my world bigger. It gave me control without numbing. Guitar made my world bigger. It grounded me in my body and taught me I could generate calm on demand. Then I realized I'm not broken. I'm dysregulated. And regulation is something I can learn. Not overnight, not with a quick fix, but with daily practice. I could teach my body it was safe. And when my body felt safe, everything else followed. I slept better. I stopped snapping at people. I stopped reaching for the bottle. I started showing up for my life. And the synchronicities kept coming because I was finally paying attention. Here's why guitar works, and it's not about music. Let me tell you why I teach guitar as a regulation tool, and why it's not about learning music. Most people hear guitar and think, oh, he's teaching people to play songs. He's a music teacher. No, I'm teaching people how to regulate their nervous system through sound and vibration. Here's why guitar works where other tools don't. Number one, it's physical and grounding. The guitar sits against your chest. Your hands are on the strings. Your body feels the vibration with every strum. This is somatic regulation. You're engaging your nervous system through physical sensation, not just your thoughts. When you're stuck in your head, spiraling with anxiety, your body is what needs attention. The guitar brings you back into your body. Number two, it slows your breath naturally. When you strum slowly and intentionally, your breath follows the rhythm. You don't have to try to breathe deeply, it just happens. The guitar becomes a pacing tool for your nervous system, anchoring you in the present moment. Number three, it rewards presence immediately. With meditation, people struggle because they don't feel anything right away. Their mind wanders, they get frustrated. With guitar, you hear and feel the result immediately. One strum, one breath, one calm moment at a time. That instant feedback loop trains your nervous system. This works. I can do this. I'm safe. Number four, it's simple, on purpose. I don't teach complex chords or music theory. I teach one chord, strummed slowly, synced with your breath. If it doesn't calm your nervous system in under 2 minutes, it's too complicated. This isn't about becoming a musician. It's about learning how to regulate on demand. And yeah, music comes along with it. If you want an exact demonstration that you can see, you got to jump over to my own website, jakepaulmusic.com. There's a link there right on the homepage where you click on it, add your email, and you get a video of me demonstrating exactly how to do it. Here's why this matters and what's possible. What I want you to understand is you're not broken. You're dysregulated. If you snap at your kids, reach for a drink, or lie awake at 2 a.m. spiraling about all the things you said, or might have said, or could have said, or didn't say, that's not a character flaw. That's your nervous system stuck in survival mode. And regulation is something you can learn. Not by thinking your way out of it, though. Not by trying harder. By giving your body a daily practice that teaches it. That's how. I'm safe. I can regulate. I don't need to escape. When your nervous system is calm, there's no need to numb out. Being present and aware is the drug. And here's what changes when you regulate daily. In the first week, you'll notice small shifts. Your breath is calmer. You catch yourself before you react. In the first month, you'll sleep better. You'll snap less. You'll reach for a drink less often, or maybe not at all. In 3 to 6 months, guitar becomes part of your identity. Anxiety no longer runs your schedule. You have control over your nervous system, not the other way around. This isn't about becoming calm all the time. It's about learning how to generate calm on demand so you can stop escaping and start showing up for your life. And my big why? Breaking the cycle. This is why I do this work. I thought I was destined for addiction. I thought anxiety was just who I was. But I was wrong. And if I was wrong, you might be wrong too. If you're a dad who feels overwhelmed, stuck in survival mode, numbing out with alcohol or distraction, there's another way. There is another way. If you feel like you're trapped in a cycle that you were born into, passed on from generation to generation, there is another way. You don't need to fix yourself. You need a daily practice that teaches your body it's safe again. Regulation becomes first. Everything else follows. Before I close this episode, I want to extend an invitation. If you've experienced a transformation like mine, if you've gone from addiction, anxiety, or trauma to regulation and presence, I want to hear your story. I'm looking for guests to feature on Rewrite the Song. Men and women who've done the work, who've built a daily practice, who've discovered that they're not broken, just dysregulated. Maybe you used breathwork. Maybe you used music. Maybe you found another tool that regulated your nervous system. I want to create a space where we share these stories, because someone listening needs to hear that it is possible. They need to know they're not destined for addiction. They're not broken. They're not alone. If you're interested, here's what I would need from you. Email me at jake@jakepaulmusic.com with the subject line, guest for Rewrite the Song. In your email, just tell me your story in 3 to 5 sentences. What were you struggling with? What shifted? Where are you now? What tool or practice changed your life? Breathwork? Music? Somatic work? Something else? And lastly, why you want to share your story. What do you hope listeners take away? I'll review every submission and reach out to schedule a conversation. This isn't about having a perfect story. It's about being real, honest, and willing to help others see that transformation is possible. Here's what I want you to take from this episode. You're not broken. You're dysregulated. Everything I teach, breathwork, guitar, nervous system regulation, stems from one truth. When your nervous system is calm, there's no need to escape. I spent 20 years trying to outrun my anxiety. I used alcohol, degrees, distractions. It made my life smaller. Then I discovered breathwork and guitar, and synchronicities started showing up. Proof that I wasn't destined for addiction. That life is available to you too, not through willpower, not through positive thinking, through daily practice, through regulation, through teaching your body it's safe again. And here's where to start. If you're ready to try this for yourself, here's what I recommend. Number 1, get my free 2-minute nervous system reset guide at jakepaulmusic.com. Number 2, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tune Into Wellness, for weekly regulation techniques. And number 3, if you're ready to go deeper, apply for one-on-one coaching at jakepaulmusic.com under the coaching tab. And if you have a story to share, email me. I want to hear it. Remember, regulation comes first. Everything else follows. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.